it challenges students to develop a strong and deep expertise while understanding how research translates into practical solutions to complex and interconnected global issues. So today we will focus on the technical dimensions of water, energy, food, and infrastructure nexus. And these dimensions are strongly, structurally interconnected and interlinked. So we will see about this and taking into account that interventions in one of these dimensions. Welcome. Good morning. Hello. So yeah, as we were saying, they're strongly interlinked. And we will see also how interventions in one of these domains affects the others. But without further ado, I would give the floor to Professor Antonio Carcaterra, who's not here yet. It's fine. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so while we wait for the hosting speaker, we will start with the polling, which will be part of today's session. You can scan the QR code.
So yeah, we are waiting for some people, I see. So as we said, like the point of this this event is to be interactive. So we want all of you to be part of the event itself. It's recorded, it's streamed by YouTube. So and online people can participate too to the polling. So we are yeah, we don't leave anyone out. So let's do this test. I prepared like a couple of polling for testing. This is like the 2-3 general question. Meanwhile, we wait the people to come. I ask the guys, can you call people that are in the posters? And we do in 2-3 tests. And then after we hear the speaker of this workshop, we will have like some more specific question of the workshop itself. So let's do this first one. This is connected on Professor Yannis' previous plenary speech about AI. And I would like Professor Yannis to give a comment, but he's not here yet. He was taking his coffee. Quella successiva, sì. Okay, we'll wait for Professor Yannis to comment. Professor, yeah, is this one? Um, we wait for Professor Yannis to comment on this. Let's go to the second polling, general polling. That's easier. It's like just where are you from? That was the first test I wanted to do. Because like we are adding this to the final then presentation on the conference. We want to show like where the people are coming. That I think it's very interesting. I didn't even know that like you can send a turkey. I don't know who did it. Can you teach us how? But I think is it Turkey? No, Turkey should be. Who did it? No one. No one is the Turkey. Okay, perfect. So that's fine. So we see like North Carolina coming up a lot. I hope Rome like can get back to the first place, but it seems not. Yeah, you see Iran. Oh, do we have someone from Iran too? Los Angeles, United Kingdom, Houston, Mexico, Indonesia. I'm reading only some names. San Diego, China. Yeah, and people are still doing it. Brazil, Myanmar, Tennessee, Spain, Kazakhstan. So a lot of them. So yeah, you don't have internet. So I'll try to fix this internet problem for the next session. So or like the only way I see it is give you my hotspot, and that's like the least I want to do. But yeah, I'll ask like the office if it can open like a free connection on Sapienza. But let's wait after lunch. I'll try to fix it. So let's go back to the first polling a second. The first. So this is the results, Professor Yannis, to the first polling. So what do you think? Positive, yeah. So and more people, I think, if they have internet, will respond yes. Um, let's go to the third one, and then we start this session. Sorry, Marta, that it's taking time, but in this way, people are coming. I saw Professor Carcaterra that was coming before, but I think he had to leave. So like we can go through, and then if you want to get his speech. So that's the other big question. So why are you here? I wanted to put like more complex question like what do you expect by GSP conference, but I see like why are you here is more direct, no? You can even see Rome sightseeing. It's an accepted answer. Don't worry. It's your name is not registered. Maybe, or maybe I can go back and see who responded Rome sightseeing. Maybe, but I'll do the sightseeing in the evening. So like yeah, it would be good as well. Yeah, the same one that's in Turkey, I think, sent pizza. So like it's straightforward. Sì, mo glielo dico. So here we have different results. LinkedIn connection, perfect. Networking, of course, like is the biggest one. And learn, coil, when in Rome, when in Rome. Yeah, okay. What is when in Rome? When in Rome. Okay. You think like it's the first and last in Rome? I don't think so. Yeah. We'll try to push to do it again next year. New ideas. Celebrate engineering. That's a good one. Free food, of course. Free food. I don't want to read Italian Boys, but it's there, of course. New ideas, learning. There is a turkey, a pizza, a camel now. Then a graph going upwards, another one. Okay, going downwards. Okay, perfect. Pasta, pasta. Only one saying pasta. Fine. Okay. Engineering pedagogy. That's a cool one. Okay. My dean is a founder. Why you are writing all this? This is changing in a direction that I don't want to. Okay, Marta, I think we can start before we get like not good answers.
So do we proceed? Okay, lovely. Then it is my pleasure to introduce today's panel for the roundtable. And I will start with Professor Linda Barelli, Gcsp director, who was here. No, who's gone? Okay. Okay, then we move to the next. Matteo Spagnolo from Rinnovabili. He represents Rinnovabili and he works in communication and dissemination, focusing on bridging technical knowledge and public awareness, translating complex energy topics into accessible and impactful information. Then we move to Filippo Cirilli and Maria Ilaria Pistelli. They're both from RINA. And Filippo Cirilli works on hydrogen technologies. He represents the Hydra IPCEI, correct, and large-scale industrial innovation with within the European IPCEI framework, focusing on research, technological validation, and the strategic deployment of hydrogen solution to support decarbonization and energy system transformation. Maria Ilaria Pistelli from RINA. She's a Research and Innovation and EU Proposal Manager. And last but not least, Francesco Roncallo from Engreen. He's head of business development in Engreen, and his work focuses on developing renewable energy solutions, expanding sustainable energy markets, and fostering partnerships that accelerate the deployment of renewable energy systems. So I will leave the floor to our panelists, and feel free to add about your background and area of work. I will leave the floor to Matteo Spagnolo first, and then proceeding.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. Welcome, everyone. My name is Matteo Spagnolo, and I represent Rinnovabili, or Rinnovabili in Italian. We are an international media company focused on sustainability and renewable energies. As a media organization, we have been working closely with universities and research centers in the past years. So I'm very happy to be here today, and thanks for the invitation to Professor Micangeli and the University of Sapienza. So Rinnovabili was named in Italian means renewables. Was started up back in 2006 when sustainability was still quite a niche topic. Over the years, sustainability, of course, moved to the center of the agendas, of policy agendas and economic agendas, and we grew alongside it, becoming a reference point for the information and reaching 3 million, almost 3 million people, 2.5 million people of community, which follows Renovabili every month throughout all our platforms. So alongside it, we decided to create an even broader ecosystem around three keywords: inform, act, and share, which defines also the company strategy. So our goal is, first of all, to inform with authoritative information what is going on at the technology level, at the market level, at the scientific level. And then with a new business unit act, we want to help companies to decarbonize their operations. This step is called ACT, and ACT represents the name of our consulting and advisory unit. And then we want to help companies and institutions to communicate in the proper way what they're doing throughout our communication agency called SHARE. And playing with these three units, we want to help the markets, and the institutions step by step to make sustainable developments towards sustainability, towards a continuous improvement. Now, let's talk about Renovabili, which is the core of our ecosystem. At Renovabili, as being the editorial platform, we publish every day in-depth articles, researches, interviews, anything happening in 7 different verticals: the energy vertical, circular economy, green building, climate and environment, agri-food, and smart mobility. Why we are here today, on top of covering this very important event, for us, this type of events are very important to build collaborations, editorial collaborations with universities and research centers to help them to amplify the visibility of their academic researches outside of the university sphere. So we have our desk in the main square with our people, and we put together a free of charge partnership agreement with universities where we can, help every month to give visibility to what you are doing specifically in your universities and research centers on specific topics that we cover. And so if you want to get to know more about it, we'll be happy to meet you in the main square and continue the conversation further. Thank you.
Now I leave the floor to Ilaria Pistelli.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I will be very short. My intervention is very short. I have only 2 minutes, so I write the introduction to the RINA Grand Challenge program and initiative. I'm Maria Ilaria Pistelli, and I work at RINA as responsible of R&I EU proposal in the field of sustainability, energy transition, circular economy, industrial symbiosis, and so on. Over the year, I have had the opportunity to work at the intersection of research, industry, academy, education, and so on, building national and international network and collaborating with the more important university, ministry, company, startup, and European platform. But more than rule and titles, what truly shaped my path is one belief: the sustainability transition. This is the link with the previous interview of the professor that we have seen before. The sustainability transition not only a technological challenge, but it is a cultural, economical, and human challenge, very human challenge. At RINA, we translate this vision into action. RINA company is an international company, about 6,000 of the employees around the world, very big company. But this company have a mission to support the sustainability transition through innovation, advanced technology, industrial platform, pilot plant that really have a test rig to test the effectively of this sustainability. And Hydra, or Hydra in Italian project, is a very big project, is an IPCEI project, in an important project of common European interest, about more than 100 million euro, and perfectly in this year where the RINA Grand Challenge comes in. Through this initiative, we invite students not just to study sustainability, but to design it, build it, and make it real. One of the key challenges we proposed is linked to the hydrogen. Hydrogen is often described as a clean fuel of the future, but sustainability is not only about being green, it is about being accessible, scalable, and economical viable. Okay, so could be green, could be very interesting, but if hydrogen technology are to be truly sustainable, renewable hydrogen production must allow a final cost between 2 and 5 euro for kilogram. Actually, we are more than 10. And so this is a very, very big challenge. Because if clean technology remain too expensive, they will remain limited to pilot project, not real solution for society. This is the challenge we give to you. Combine technology, sustainability, innovation, economic realism. To think like engineering, researcher, entrepreneurs, and change maker at the same time. All of this. The RINA Grand Challenge is not just an academic exercise, it is an invitation to become part of the solution. And this is right, I have to read, so to move from learning to impact, from theory to transformation, from idea to real world changes expected. And I truly believe that this generation, your generation, but also our generation, has not only the skill, but the responsibility and the power to redesign the future of energy, industry, and sustainability. Because the future is not something we wait for, it's something we build together. Thank you for your attention. Okay, I leave the floor to my colleague Filippo Cirilli.
So thank you, Ilaria. I will spend just a few words to complement what my colleagues already said. First of all, my name is Filippo Cirilli. I'm from Rome. I'm from Italy, but I'm very excited that I can say that I have the whole world in front of me, and that it is a very unusual but very exciting situation for me. I'm a chemist as my personal background, and I started with very specific, let me say, process issues related to steelmaking. And then I moved to environmental sustainability and issues, circular economy, and now I'm all for the hydrogen transition, not only for steelmaking, but we are also, let's say, shifting our experience for the steel production to the other hard-to-abate sector. And this is an invitation that I make to all of you to, let's say, learn how to shift competencies from one sector to another one. And in this sense, I think that a proper utilization of a AI tool can be really very beneficial. And just a few words about research. We are a private company. but we are, let's say, in between a university and a fully private research. So we are, let's say, a link between the public funding and also the private companies. We run every year, I would say, hundreds of European funded projects, and in several sectors. And our main project, as my colleague said, is the HYDRA project. The amount of investment is more or less 100 million euros. We are erecting new labs and pilot plants, not so far from here, more or less 25 kilometers far from here. So Rome is not a city known for industries, but we decided to have our pilot facilities here in Rome. Just to point out that our pilot plant are not, let's say, at the service of one company, but they are at service of the whole industrial system. The challenge is very hard, and I think there are some interesting topics in this moment that I would say. You know that we must decarbonize our processes, and we have, let's say, a deadline 2050. If you see the specific legislation of the different countries all over the world, most of them have fixed their decarbonization target at 2050, most of them. Some of them fixed in 2060, as China, for example, or 2070 as India. But if you check the decarbonization target of companies, you see that most of the companies, again, fix their decarbonization target at 2050, even if the decarbonization target of the company they belong is, let's say, fixed ahead. So it's, I think, a very interesting situation. Another interesting situation is that in most of the cases, we know the technologies. We know what we have to do. And okay, we have to implement our knowledge. We have to improve. We have to, let's say, tune and calibrate the processes. But in most cases, we know what we have to do. We have to apply. And to apply, we need... okay, for sure, money, but we need also international consensus. So the situation is very complex, and I think that the initiative like this one can help to bring those type of bridges that are fundamental for the implementation of the technologies and also for the achieving of the target that are really very challenging. But we know the way, and this is the good news. Thank you very much.
If I have 10 seconds, I invite all of you to visit our stand to have more in detail information about this grand challenge. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So now I would leave the floor to Francesco Roncallo, Head of Business Development of Engreen, who will talk about the Solar Doctors Initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Marta. Thanks to the panelists. Thanks to you, and welcome to Rome. Good morning. So this is Francesco from Engreen. We are a private company based here in Rome. We are expert in the energy sector, and we are mostly involved in energy-related projects in the African continent. So if you want to know something more about Engreen, please, we are here outside with our stand, so spend some time there. So today, I'm not going to talk about Engreen, but I'm going to talk to you about one of the initiatives we are taking care of, which is Solar Doctor, which is mostly looking at energy access in the healthcare sector in the African continent. So sometimes in rural areas, many health facilities may have not access to electricity, and this is a problem. National grid is not reaching out these facilities, so some alternative solution is needed for providing to these facilities a reliable health services, additional services, for example, talking about a cold value chain for keeping safe medicine or vaccines. So donors recently and in last years are investing more and more in electrification program, for example, solar PV panels for powering health facilities. But it happened that also according to many publications that just after the donor intervention, just after 3-5 years, the system fails. For example, PV panels, mostly due to the fact that O&M, operation and maintenance, is missing. And this is a big problem. So systems that may work for 20 years are just working for 3 years. So that's the problem. So why this is happening? Sometimes because donors and public sector is not investing in long-term strategies, O&M strategies are missing, but sometimes there's also missing local technician capacity. So first of all, O&M is very important in this kind of situation. And this is why we are investing in this initiative, Solar Doctor, which is trying to combine together O&M, so implementing a stable O&M program for health facility in the African continent, together with capacity building. So how? Solar Doctor is going to implement a physical hub in any rural area of the African continent where electricity national grid is not coming, for establishing a permanent capacity building program. This capacity building focused on energy for, let's say, working with the local communities in establishing technical capacity in the energy sector, is going to create personnel able to be employed in green job position locally, but also part of these people, in our idea, in our initiative, will be involved really in this Solar Doctor initiative, which will be a real team engaged in performing locally O&M activities for local health facilities. So this team will be organized by an expert team of managers and administrators for performing locally O&M at health facilities. This is a key challenge for the local health facilities because in this way we can extend the lifetime of the energy system related to those facilities. I'm going to the conclusion. So the Solar Doctor is a kind of action we are implementing for extending the lifetime of such facilities, but the final objective is also to ensure a quality and reliable health services to rural communities. So people are at the very center of this initiative because through training, we want to perform a tangible, a real action for people, for health sector. So people is the very center element of the initiative. The structure, the governance structure of this initiative is also structured in a way that if we are focused on a certain region or a certain location in the rural Africa, we can easily replicate because we train local people for performing local O&M. So the replicability is huge. And the last element I would like to share with you is about data, because centralizing the management and control of health facilities in a certain region means clusterize monitoring data for those facilities, understanding in advance what is happening in these facilities, performing any kind of predictive maintenance activity. But data means also understanding what's happening. So donors are super interested in this topic because understanding how much it's impacting any action promoted by any kind of donors means understanding how the development is proceeding. So at the moment, Solar Doctor is in the early stage phase. We hope in the next month to launch the first real life activities related to the Solar Doctor. So implementing it and testing the first training program at local level. So next year, I hope we will be again here talking about results about these initiatives. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. So now, Danielle, I think we move to the most interactive part of this workshop.
Yes. So we go back to the polling. We prepare for you some questions to discuss with the speakers we have now. So this is like the first question. I'm sorry that I don't know how many of you don't have internet and cannot respond. So discuss with with a colleague like near you. So the first question is, which dimension most limits progress in water, energy, food challenges today?
In the meantime, while we wait for the audience to answer the question, maybe we can hear from our panelists. In this question, which dimension most limits progress in water, energy, food challenges today? What do you think could be an answer according to your experience? I don't know who wants to start.
I can start from here. So I think that governance and institutions, for sure, they play a key role. I think that from a technology standpoint, data shows that we are ready, but still we need to go in the right direction altogether. There are many challenges from a governance and institution standpoint that still are limiting the progress of some of our technologies at the worldwide level. It depends, region by region, but I think that, yes, it is visible
Yeah,
also
it's growing.
in the poll. Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else? Who would like?
Fully agree with the ongoing results in the sense that there are a lot of technologies which can be put in place. For sure, each technology can be improved. So this is let's say, as a general background, I would say that the technology improvement is something that we cannot stop. But what I see as a real barrier is for sure the governance and the institutions in the sense that a lot of projects, if you want to bring a breakthrough project, if you want really to change, let's say, radically a situation, in general, you need cooperation and integration between different institutions. It is not only an issue of a decision of a single institution. In some cases, in most cases, we see at the European level for other purposes, but it can be also, let's say, exported to other situations. Let's say the cooperation, the coordination among different member states is fundamental in achieving important progresses. And also the aspect of economical feasibility, for sure it is important, but if you want to optimize the economical resource, once again, I think that cooperation is fundamental.
I would say something different. Yeah, I fully agree that governance and institution is a key element, as well as the economic feasibility, technological readiness. But I also would spend some words about, let's say, the less voted element of the survey, which is data and information availability, which I would connect it also to awareness, because sometimes, also according to our experience in the African continent, it's true that governance it's something like a guidance in the uptake of any technology, any methodology. But I also would spend a few words about mostly information availability and awareness training. I talk again about capacity building and training, because if we really try to apply a bottom-up approach, the technological uptake also of water, energy, food nexus initiatives and technologies would be very, very radicated into the local communities, because sometimes it happens that, let's say, initiatives coming from the top level are trying to implement something, but many times fails. So I would really encourage also a the promotion of any kind of bottom-up approach involving communities, generating locally awareness for really promoting a real uptake of a certain method or technology.
Thank you very much. I think that the discussion reflects a lot the ongoing results, and it's very interesting also to see how the different experiences made you discuss different aspects of the same topic. And here we go with the interconnection that we were discussing at the very beginning of the session. So thank you. I think we can move on to the next question.
Okay, yeah. So the first one was more about technology, obviously, and how to foster like the project. This is instead is more about the designing, so it's more like technical. Like most of us, like are engineers, but not only engineers, even from economy or social studies are important. And this question is more about what you need to prioritize when you design one of the system of when you work directly on one of these projects. That can be something that you are already doing as students, something you are participating, or something your directors are doing with you, or something that they did on the past and they have experience on.
Thank you, Daniele. Here again, I would really like to hear from the panelists, as all of you. So according to your experience, what would you answer to this question?
I would say all of them. I mean, I would say it's very difficult here because they are all linked. So it's very difficult to pick the first one to me, but you know, all of them are key. So.
If I can, let's say, put a little bit more confusion on the table, I would insert also flexibility. Or let's say, within technological performance, I would also include the technological flexibility. Let me explain a little bit, taking an example from our project. We are running a project to support hydrogen utilization for steel making, or let's say to convert all the steel production with hydrogen, fully replacing fossil fuels, but we don't have hydrogen, or let's say we don't have green hydrogen in this moment. So we have hydrogen, but it's not green. And what is the solution? If you want to run with hydrogen, but you don't have hydrogen, you must be flexible to work also with other reactants. And in the sense that your system, not only for steel making, but also for other systems, you must be able to work, let's say, in a more traditional way, to work in a hybrid mode, and you have to be, let's say, also able to work in a flexible way up to, let's say, the most efficient and innovative way. So this is what I can put. And for sure, the cost efficiency is an important aspect. Continuing with the hydrogen, we know how to produce green hydrogen, or let's say we know how to produce carbon neutral hydrogen in a more general way, but in most of the cases, imagine that we have the equipment, we have the money, so we have the space, we have the facilities and so on, but the cost in order to be economically sustainable is, I think, an important aspect. And cost does not mean simply state aid. So we ask to the state to provide money. This is a component for sure, but it is not the only one.
Agree with you. It's a very difficult question, actually, so probably all the answers are nice, but I make an exercise again. I try to vote the less voted one, technical performance, because if we approach water, energy, food technology and solution, it's becoming more and more justifying cost, for example, because okay, I'm looking at the solution which is taking care of three aspects, not only one. So it's probably going to be more expensive. So probably if we focus on technical performance, we can say, okay, you have this solution for energy, this for water, and this for food. If these are disaggregated, costs are high, but if we try to merge them together in a web solution, probably we are in the position also for generating awareness of the real impact of this solution that they may have. So I would push more on technical performance for, let's say, showing that something is changing and a problem is, let's say, considered from a different angle of view.
I would like to add, like we start with the question. No? So I want to go for the first question, since like gladly we are on time, you know, Marta. And I don't know, it never happens. So like I'm shocked the first one, like whoa. Yeah, I would like to, because this question is very interesting, and you can go like deeper and deeper in analyzing all the aspect of the different of all these different priority in designing. But I would like to ask the speakers, can you tell us some experience on some projects where some of these points, for example, social impacts, you are technical because you are more technical people. Here the students said, a lot of students, the first one, the second one is social impact. For sure, you went through some issues that need different solution, for example, on social or environmental, or maybe you had some specific issue on cost efficiency on some of the project. Can you share with us one, two project, or specifically when you had like an issue in some of this aspect, and how you overcame this issue?
I have a point to sublime, but is referred also at the first question, that is governance and institution. And in particular in Italy, the governance institution is not so completely related to the progress and the technical performance and so on. When are analyzed, for example, in authorization pathway, to have a specific authorization in a project of advanced technology, innovative technology, there is a little bit confusion to stabilize the social impact with the possibility to make this. For hydrogen, for example, it's very difficult to have authorization because there is a lot of technical and also dangerous aspect to be considered, so that is not easy to manage in the govern and for the authorization path. So it's very hard to arrive for an industrial application, start from the research. Sound for research. This is an aspect that I think that in the next generation, but also in this generation, have to be solved, have to be managed in a more flexible way.
Maybe I just briefly ask some thoughts about this question, because I would also add a few other words in relation to social impact topic. According to our experience as let's say, actor in the development and humanitarian sector, we are more expert as Engreen in the energy sector, but energy is not a isolated pillar of the development. So in any project, we are taking care of both only on energy, but also on water, energy, food nexus, mostly in the African continent. What is really a driver, a key change, is the ownership. Any project without ownership of the local community is not succeeding. So I would put also this word in the key topics to be analyzed in relation to the uptake of water, energy, food solutions. So verifying, establishing a real ownership of local community in the uptake of any kind of technology is a key element. And this is also connected, for example, to the long-term resilience, the cost sustainability of any intervention. So I put some attention on the ownership topic and also the importance of involving the whole local community in any kind of initiative. I'm talking about our experience, so dealing with rural communities in the African continent. So working with local community, the whole value chain you are dealing with, and then the ownership that must be shared with the local communities.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I don't know if you want to add anything?
May I complement a little bit on this topic? Because at the beginning of these questions, more or less all of us said, in any case, all are important. And it's true in the sense that I remember when I started running research projects, let's say 20, 25 years ago, let's say the technical performance or the technical scope was, I would say, not only the main one, but more or less the only one. So, okay, we, let's say, just put some economical evaluations, some minor impact evaluation and so on, but it was more an exercise than a real target of the project. Nowadays, even when you perform a research project, even if the expected maturity of the result is not so high, in any case, you cannot avoid to include in your project economical evaluations, some market analysis, some social impact, and so on. So, yeah, and for sure the life cycle assessment. So also the environmental performances has to be evaluated according not only to a standard procedure, but in a very general and wide way. So even if I'm a chemist, as I said, so the technical performance remains my main target, we cannot, let's say, avoid to always to consider our research project as a part of a system. So we have to take into consideration the impact of the research, if the research is sustainable from the economical point of view, which will be the social acceptance of the result. I remember that when we designed the project about carbon capture and usage, one of the aspects is the temporary storage of CO2 before the transportation, conversion, and so on. And the social impact was tremendous in the sense that we are technicians, so we design for resin, calculate, and so on. But at the end, we realized that there were so big cryogenic CO2 storage tank very close to a city, which means in terms of energy, a nuclear bomb close to. From the technical point of view, it had sense, no? But from the social impact point of view, it was tremendous. So what I'm saying is that we have to learn, let's say, to think in a very larger scope. This does not mean that I have to know everything, because it is impossible. I have to cooperate with other colleagues, with experts in economic and in social science and so on, because the results of research is a team result, not only a result of a single person, of a single technology, or a single stream.
Just to link to what he was saying, I would say that today we cannot talk about prioritization of one of these aspects. We can start from any of those. So we can start from social impact or technical performance, no matter what. But then we cannot exclude any of the other aspects in order to achieve a successful outcome. And so I mean, we can, of course, we can prioritize one of them, but then we will have to include all of them in order to achieve the outcomes that we deserve.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Many interesting insights. I think in the end, right, the point is not much about what technology works, but what technology works at scale, in context, and over time. That's crucial. But thank you. I think that before moving to other interactive questions, we can open the floor to a couple of questions from you. I don't know if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm from the University of Southern California. I study chemical engineering. My question was for the solar doctors. I'm curious, you said you have a lot of funding. What sector are those is that funding usually coming from? Are the donors more so in an energy sector? Is there even people in like the healthcare, like med tech sector that are interested in investing in this, since you're putting in rural communities so not only they have like long-term energy solutions, but also help that energy lead to better access to healthcare in those communities?
Yeah, that's a good question. The question. At the moment, there's in last, let's say, in last 10 years, have been implemented many programs by, let's say, international agencies related to the improving the health service as it is. In last few years, it happened that the focus moved a bit on, okay, main facilities, the big hospital in big cities are okay, but what's happening in rural villages, in health posts, health centers, which are the very small facilities that are very capillary on a territory. What's happening there? And what was shown was that, let's say, services at that level were very limited. And this is why last 5 years were very focused on let's try to electrify these facilities. And I'm talking about any kind of international agency from UNICEF, which is mostly deal with health, but it's also happening the same with, let's say, international agencies that are working on development and more technological intervention. So I think in the slide there was also some numbers, I don't remember, but these fundings are coming mostly for the electrification of these facilities. But the problem we have seen is that sometimes, as also the UN agency are working, these are programs of 3 years mostly, and so they take care of the implementation of these technologies, and after 3 years, it's okay. It's let's say, it's not my stuff. It's a matter of the health facilities or the public sector itself. And if these installations are not combined with a long-term strategy or any kind of financially covered O&M program, these facilities are unuseful. And this is also creating a misconception of renewables, because in some health facilities, they have diesel generators that works every time. You have diesel, okay, you can work on it. And renewables and PV panels, after 3 years is not working, okay, so I use diesel generator. So it's creating also a misconception on renewables. So this is why we very would like to push O&M, because we talk today about health facilities, but it's happening in any kind of other facilities, in schools, in any kind of residential areas where O&M is not correctly applied. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you so much. Well, I am Andres Gonzalez from Comillas University, and my question is about healthcare again and communities. Well, I was working in Rwanda in a village. They had a wonderful healthcare facility off the grid with a wonderful diesel generator and donated by the German corporation. And when we were looking at it, we thought, okay, it's not working. Why don't you turn it on? Turn it on, and they told us, well, yes, many times a year, but not usually because we don't have enough diesel for that. So even diesel might be a problem. I mean, they had huge O&M problems. Actually, we went around the facility and looked at the exhaust of the diesel generation, and it was covered with white webs. So probably it wasn't turned on even once a month or once a year. So question is, I think it's critical to have also monitoring and critical also to have some economies of scale, because you cannot hope to have knowledge in a village off-grid enough to maintain whatever you build there. A mini-grid is what we were doing. So actually, there are initiatives to monitor the status of health centers in Africa. I have seen some at work, but I don't know how large they are, and I don't know if you can give information, because at least you will know what is working, what is not working, when to turn on or turn off the diesel generator if the battery is getting exhausted, so you avoid battery damage and things like that, and all that can be automated. So that is my question, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. And yeah, data, it's a kind of hot topic, let's say, for this period. And we had several experiences with different donors and in different countries. Rwanda is one of those. In particular, we had a study, it's online, on the Sustainable Energy for All website, which together with UNOPS is promoting this program, which is powering healthcare sector. So it's also connected to the previous question. And we had a similar initiative in other countries like Mali, Burkina. And data is not, let's say, an accessible asset, because the ownership is not that clear about this data. Sometimes it's about the Ministry of Health, sometimes Ministry of Infrastructure, and according to the status of that country, this data can be shared, but sometimes also for, let's say, showing a better situation than the real one. These data are not so accurate, so precise. So we see a missing element in data. And this is why in the initiative we are promoting Solar Doctor, we have the idea of creating a physical infrastructure, so which might cover a province, a region, which will take care of all the health facilities, the small one, in that area. And part of our O&M services will be also having live data, installing locally a monitoring infrastructure for, let's say, gathering data about the status of that energy infrastructure, but also about the health facility. So in that case, if we can centralize data in a unique hotspot, we can really understand what's happening, try also to better organize and optimize the process of providing O&M services, but also having the chance for coming back to donors and saying, look, you invested 1,000 euro in this facility and nothing is working right now. Please, next program, try to understand how to solve this problem, because it's a problem. You are not solving anything like this. So this data might become also an instrument for understanding the problem and coming back to donors for, let's say, trying to generate also a common understanding of the problem. But we really think that data will be also a key instrument for solving and understanding the problem, yeah. But yeah, repositories about global status of healthcare facilities is very limited.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you also for your questions. Now we'll go back to the Mentimeter questions. And the next one is, which scale is more critical for effective water, energy, food solutions? And here, again, same role. I would like to hear from the panelists. What would you answer to this question?
I start, but I'll be very brief. It's a difficult question, and talking about criticalities, I really think that in my opinion, a global approach, a global solution, it's a kind of ideal stuff because water, energy, food approach is very connected to the local environment. So it's there's one web solution for that specific place. So after going around for few kilometers means, okay, here the water, energy, food solution is another one. So knowing the local community, the local environment is fundamental for tailoring a proper web solution for the local environment. So talking about criticality, I would think that applying a global approach would be very, very challenging.
Thank you. So yes, maybe the context, the specificity is so important in this case that we stay in the regional in that case. Any different opinion from the panel?
I totally agree. Bottom-up solution based on the different type of territory and need, and of course flexibility is also a key element in order to do that, because again, every local community, every territory has a different need.
Thank you.
In our specific experience, the national scale is an important factor, but I think that this is limited to our experience, and in the sense that we have a lot of European and national projects. So for the deployment of this type of solution, the national scale is the most critical one. But I think that if we enlarge our point of observation, we agree that the local situations can be really very, very different from one case to another one to make effective water, energy, food solutions. So again, I think that in that case, the local situation is the most critical one. And also, I would say that the subsequent step is the coordination up to a global perspective is the second one.
Thank you. So, okay, the answers were not quite reflecting what we were saying, so I guess it was interesting to hear this. Okay, so the next question would be, what should the universities contribute most to water, energy, food challenges? And who wants to start?
I start. So it's an interesting question because let's say the uptake of water, energy, food solution is not that defined at the moment. So it's a long time we talk about WEF solutions. So the presence of universities and research sector is still very important for ensuring a long-term uptake of such solutions. So I really think that the interaction with universities and the private sector, public institution is fundamental for really understanding which might become a technology able to really deal with a water, energy, food approach. So we are talking about different sector, not only the technical one, so also the social one, and so on. So I see a real strong connection between university and the WEF value chain. And so this is why I also would say that this link should be not only technical one because I'm talking about Engreen experience, which is mostly dealing with the development sector. And in our experience, we usually not deal with the super innovative technologies. We want technologies that are robust, that can ensuring a duration, a performance, low O&M. So we want to select very robust technologies. So I would not go in advanced research. So I would encourage a deeper understanding of efficiency improvement, but I would not go with super innovative technologies. And for sure, as my interventions was mostly related to training, I would put again a focus on that point because training is also awareness, it's also ownership. So I would really stress this aspect.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
I think that the role of universities is really fundamental in the sense that I would say that in parallel, the university can support the solution for today and also in parallel to study the solution for tomorrow, which can be the same, but or the same improved, optimized, but can be a different one. I would say that one aspect is the system thinking and integration, so to support, to work jointly with the private company and with institution to find out the best solution for today, but in parallel to carry out advanced research. And I think that the training professional is something strongly connected with the system thinking and integration. When I say training, I imagine not only the issues, for example, related to the maintenance, and you mentioned that the solar doctor, and that this is an aspect that the university can support, but there is, I think, another aspect of training, or let's say strongly connected with training, that is the exchange, or let's say, of students which travels from one university to another ones. They learn new system, they build networks, they meet colleagues, hopefully young colleagues, and they will continue working with those networks if they come back in their countries. This is a strongly enrichment. Let me tell you a very short funny story that is, believe me, true. Some years ago, a candidate for the major in Rome launched a public consultant, so you can send ideas and so on, and I wrote to him. He did not answer to me, but I wrote that at the first point of the program to fund 100 of doctorate thesis for Rome, but it could be for another city. And 50% of those doctorate for foreign students, just to build. So I strongly believe in the fact in the cooperation of universities and to the enrichment of students, which will be professor in the future, and it's a kind of training if we enlarge a little bit those meanings. So to summarize, the first point, I think that system thinking integration in the first is the first, just to try to prioritize. System thinking integration to solve the problem of today, advanced research for the problems of tomorrow, and if we want to keep the system working, for sure, training professionals.
Thank you. Thank you. And
yeah, because of the experience at Rinnovabili, I would say bridging science and society is going to be key for the future. There are so many innovative researches at the universities that are going on. The more we will be able to amplify what is going on at the research level outside of the university, the more this can also, implement like positive outcomes outside of the university context.
thank you. Thanks a lot. I don't know if there is anything you would like to add on this. Yes.
Yes, very short observation. There is only one that policy support that shows policy support. For me, it's very clever they did this job because I think that, for example, in the Grand Challenge that of the RINA Grand Challenge about the hydrogen, about the technology to make economically feasible the use of hydrogen. For example, a way is to recover this hydrogen from waste. But as you know, all the technology that involved the waste management in Italy is very, very difficult to realize for the above mentioned authorization pathway. So will be very important that university make clear the technology and observe all the life cycle assessment of all innovative technology, and that these results will be given to the institutional, to the policy, to the government of our nation, to especially of Italy, to be clear and to make this innovation feasible. Okay.
Yeah, I also would like to add some thoughts about also the opportunities that are in place in Italy, but also in Europe, for example, related to this interaction that might be valuable between university and the private sector. For example, I'm talking about my experience. So at the moment, apart from the many different mobility programs that are already in place, you are expert on this, I think, there are also some programs, mostly from Europe, that is financing research-oriented projects. I'm talking, for example, about Horizon Europe, which is really trying to boost, to accelerate this partnership within the private sector and universities and research sector. So these programs are coming from the more innovative technology to the very well-known one, and these are great opportunities for, let's say, make this connection stronger at NGREEN, but also the ARENA colleagues are really involved in this kind of project financed by the European Commission. And I think that it's a super opportunity, mostly for universities, but also for private sector, to create synergies, also to try to, let's say, for university to try to put something in the real life, but for the private sector is also an opportunity for better understanding where the world is going and which are the new trend of the markets.
Thank you.
Yeah, added to that, first thing I want to say that like we'd like to finish a little bit early. Now the program is 12:45. We'll finish like in I think in 10 minutes more, because we have to do the picture at the Colle Oppio. We're gonna guide you. We have to do a picture of everyone just in front of the Colosseum. That's a big view. Today is already sunny. Tomorrow we won't have this. Yeah, it's like this the only sunny day in like 20, so like enjoy this, but we're gonna stay inside, so let's even enjoy outside. And I see a lot of you discuss it at the posters, so like you want more time for the poster, we will give you there. We don't wanna deprive you of this precious time of discussions. One last thing that I want to add to get on the last two pollings that are around the Gcsp is not for this. They can comment the speakers if they want, but it's for all of us. And I want to post the same polling afterward at the end, Saturday, tomorrow, to see if your perspective changed a little bit. So I think it's very important that the last part. I wanted to guide the discussion on the direction, but the speakers already went there. And the last comment I want to ask them before doing this two last polling and going is what do you feel like is missing of connection between universities and all these partners for a student to decide how to build this know-how? What kind of programs should he pick it more? What kind of experience should he do it more to have like this interdisciplinary that is like the next then multicultural, multidisciplinarity are the two other competencies of the grand challenge. What do you think, for your experience, you would add, you would change something that you see that is missing, or something that the students of university you say like, do this because this is gonna give you like a view, a better view with your research if you want to do research, of your company work if you want to own a company, where to go or which experience would be more enriching for you?
I would say that mostly for students, there are several mechanisms, several initiative and opportunities for try, because trying is the key element for understanding if anything is up to you or not. Talking about Ngreen, my company, we are very open to launch some let's say opportunities for students, which are a good way for us for knowing students, but also it's a nice opportunities for students for testing their interest in any kind of activities. I make an example, as Ngreen is really engaged in energy-related projects, sometimes on the field. So we really have infrastructure projects in the African continent, and sometimes we also have the chance for let's say involving students in some ways. So this kind of initiatives is a real opportunities for anybody for really understand if that's something that is interesting to you or not. So I would suggest to try. Opportunities are there. There are mechanisms which are funded by universities and institutions, but there's also the option of spend some time talking with a company which is able and open to interact with students and have some instruments also for supporting you in this. So I would say let's also try this connection with the private sector, which is very open to create interaction.
I would say keep your circle open wherever you are, whatever you do. Try to always be ready to get to know people with different perspectives from outside of your circle, to try different experiences, of course, to connect and link to the private sectors or other sectors outside of your circle, because only with this mindset you will grow yourself, you will grow your professional skills. And so, yeah, this is what I would say. Always open to new challenges, and this will help you a lot in the future.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Do you want to add anything to this?
Yes, for sure. If let's put it this way. Regarding the connection and involvement of students with the companies and institutions, I fully agree in the sense that I would suggest to be open. The LinkedIn can be a wonderful tool. And in our IDRA project, we have some thesis, and a couple of students contacted us. So they moved before us because they knew the project from LinkedIn. They were interested, so they contacted us. They contacted their professor, and surprisingly, the student was the link, became the link. But this is a very interesting initiative, and we were really happy with this. in some other situation, we are in contact with professors and so on. But so it's a new tool and we have to use it. It's a positive tool. And coming from more specific to our institution, I think that the interdisciplinary learning is a key point. So let's say the strongest value of the Grand Challenge Scholar Program, because we do believe that the new projects are very complex, and really we need a cooperation between different disciplines. We cannot be expert. I think that the dark side of the AI is that someone thinks that they can just dial something on the PC and in a few minutes can be expert of something. This is not true. And we learned this morning that the AI is capable to decrease the activation energy of a process, and this is the right application. So the interdisciplinary learning for us is really a key aspect of and the strongest value from this initiative. And for sure, also I would, as a second point, so I agree with the pool, the international networking, because interdisciplinary and also international networking is really important for us to learn from other perspectives, other technology route, other competencies is really very, very important for us.
I completely agree with my colleague, and there is a further observation that when a project arrives to technology regional level high, 6, 7, and 8, the interdisciplinary learning and connection is very, very important. So engineering, chemistry, physical, and especially the digital have to communicate in a very practical way. So in our company, this exercise is bringing to high level of communication between discipline, very different. And if 10 years ago for the major part is engineering and chemistry, now there are also other that are physical and but also economical and also human discipline to have this continuous dialogue that is very, very important. And a second point that is on AI, is true that you could have the maximum advantage from the artificial intelligence only if you know the argument very well. Otherwise, the answer that you could arise from the question from intelligence, artificial intelligence could be dangerous. So this is a warning that I say to you that we see every day in our cooperation with our new colleague, young colleague. Thank you.
So thank you a lot. I could not be more honored for moderating this panel. It was very insightful. Thank you for sharing your experiences, your insights. I would give a last round of applause to this panel.
So everyone, you can see here there are like some points where how a university should work. There is only 1 on social and 5 on industry connection. So we see already where we are lacking. After lunch, we're gonna do a pooling on some of this and see how to connect with it. And now, Professor, yeah.
Now, are you ready? So this strip, this banner will go in front of the Colosseum. We will be behind it. Some of us will perform a skateboard or volley or basket, and then we will have lunch, okay? But immediately coming out, we have to go there because they are waiting for us, because there is a great sun. It's incredible that today we have this day. Come on, make your move! Yeah!
Just follow these yellow stripes. Be sure everyone, 1:45 we start the other workshop. We have less time. Now we have 1 hour and a half to have like this picture, to do like posters and to have lunch. But be sure at 1:40 to get back to the room, else we go late and we don't have time to do the cultural visit at night if you are late. So be sure not to be late.
Lasciare un curriculum. Sì, è che siamo stati qua 2 ore, non sapevo che raccontare, siamo stati qua a raccontare la rava alla fava, è stato lunghissimo.